Hello. I'm so excited to be able to follow Robin. That is a message that we need to bring to the dental community. As you can see, I had a little mishap in Snowmass, Colorado. We decided for my husband and my 35th wedding anniversary to make a trip to Snowmass, Colorado to go skiing. We knew that it wasn't actually recommended that we travel, although we decided if we followed the CDC guidelines, we certainly could travel safely. It was the first beautiful day of skiing. That's really what God meant whenever He had the Purple Mountains majesty. The sky was blue, the snow was falling, it was absolutely beautiful. There were no lift lines because of the coronavirus. The mountain was groomed, it was beautiful skiing. We actually made it down to our first break. We went down to the bottom of the mountain, and there were no lift lines up at the top of the mountain, but down at the bottom of the mountain, I actually was complaining to my husband about how long we had to stand in the lift line. And I said, we are not going to be skiing down here anymore. And he laughed because normally, whenever you ski, the lift lines could be as much as 30 minutes. And I was complaining about 3 minutes. Are you kidding me? Really? So we got on the lift, and as luck would have it, he dropped his sunglasses. We were on our way up for our Irish coffee, and we decided while we were on the lift that we were going to ski down, and then we were going to retrieve his sunglasses and make it up for our first break for Irish coffee. Except I didn't make it down the mountain. I fell, and I couldn't get up. The good part about that is I did get a trip in the toboggan, and not too many people get to do that. The coronavirus and the pandemic actually gave us a master class in resilience, and that's exactly what that was. I learned from the year before that we needed to be resilient, and we need actually to learn how to deal with all of those changes. Can you remember the moment whenever you knew that life had changed forever because of the pandemic? Can you remember the moment that you knew life had changed forever and that it will not be the same anymore? Think about how the moment that you knew that you or your loved ones could possibly die. That's what I'm here to talk about. The resilience that we need, and how the brain can actually be trained to provide that resilience that we need. Anxiety, depression, post-traumatic stress, all of those what they thought was mental illness is not mental illness. It's actually the brain, a chemical imbalance in the brain that actually can be made better through static electricity. That uncertainty, that constant changing, you can make that better. We can live a less painful, more productive life by just using some of the techniques in order to change the brain, in order to feel better. The brain actually needs 6 things to work at its optimum capacity. It's the air that we breathe and how we breathe it. It's the food that we eat and how we eat it. It's the water that we drink and how we drink it. It's the thoughts that we have and how we think them. It's the movements that we make and how we make them. And lastly, it's the words that we use and how we speak them. That all makes the brain create the chemicals in order for us to feel better. Half of all people that make it to 85 are going to exhibit Alzheimer's or dementia symptoms. We can actually make that better. It's been proven, scientifically proven, that inflammation and toxins cause the brain to actually exhibit those symptoms. In the absence of inflammation, people do not exhibit Alzheimer's or dementia symptoms. We can actually help the brain to combat that inflammation and the toxins so that they can live a less painful, more comfortable life. We have that obligation or even maybe that responsibility. There are 4 questions that you need to ask yourself whenever you want to have a healthier brain. The first one is it healthy? Is it good for my brain? Am I doing the right thing? The second one, is it true? Our brains can lie to us. As Robin said, our brains actually make sure that we can function correctly. The third question actually is you need to think about the positive things versus the negative things. You need to aim for a 5-to-1 ratio of thinking positive thoughts rather than negative thoughts. Do I like it or don't I? Make sure that it's 5-to-1. And lastly, is it helping the trajectory of my life? And if it's not, stop doing it. The brain is an amazing thing. And we as dental professionals, we have the opportunity to actually train our brains to feel better, practice those techniques in our own lives, and actually then live those lives and help others learn how to train their brains to get better. Today is the rest of your life. Yesterday is the last day of your past. We need to learn how to feel better. We actually have the power to actually help all of us make a difference.